Greetings, students. We're going to be going over your Chapter 4 homework assignment today. And before we get to the instructions, I want to encourage you to always look, even if it's not required of you, to always look at the relationships. A lot of times they've been set up for you, but you need to understand this. So we've got speakers, the session speaker, and the sessions. Notice that our data is broken down into related fields. So our speaker ID is connected to the speaker ID in session speaker, and then the session ID is connected to the session ID in table sessions. Let's also look at our data. So we have rooms where we are going to determine the capacity, the room ID, the capacity, and the notes about the room. Then we have our sessions, and these are going to be, notice the room ID and the session ID, and we have the relationship here to the speaker ID. Then we have the session speaker. Notice that we've got the speaker ID and the session ID that connect back to the sessions and speakers. And finally, we have our speakers. The list of the speakers, and notice that we have the relation here set up to session ID. So those are the relationships. The first thing that you're asked to do is to create a form using a form tool, and we're going to base it on speakers. So select speakers and select create, and then simply create the form with the form tool, and it does for you automatically. Notice that because of the relationship, we have a subform based on the session ID. You're asked to reduce, we're asked to change the title to enter edit speakers. So if you'll double click here, then you can change the title. If we go into design view, then we can also select all the fields, and with the arrow on the little yellow dot, we can reduce the size of our fields. It also tells you to delete this subform. So that being done, we'll go to the next step. All right, now we're to open the information form in layout view, select the room information form in stack layout. So we have our room information form. Go into layout view and select arrange and stacked. And then we're supposed to close and save that. I'm going to look at the query for speaker and room schedule query in design view and add the starting time field to the design grid after the date field. So here is our query in design view, and you can see that I've already added the starting time. All you have to do there is look at the session, I believe it's in sessions, and select start time, drag it, and drop it after date. So you can see the query. Now that we've got the query for all three tables, we've got the first and last name of the speaker, the session title, the room ID, the date, and the starting time. So we're able to take data and turn it into information with the query. All right, we're going to make a report out of the room square query data using the report wizard and select all the available fields and view by speaker. So you simply select create, report wizard. We're going to select all the fields. We want it by speaker. No grouping levels, and no sort. So now we've got a report, grouped by speaker. Oh, we were supposed to sort it in ascending order and start time as secondary sort field. All right, so let me do that one again. By speakers. No more grouping levels, I don't think. Let me see. Nope. Then you select date and starting time. And you're supposed to name it speaker schedule revised. And I've already got one, so I'm going to add the one to that. There's our report. Now notice this report is the fields aren't wide enough. So we need to look at this and design view and move our fields over so that we have enough room for starting time. And that's very simple. Just select, drag and drop. It's still not wide enough. See if that does it. Not quite. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm doing it in the wrong place. I'm using the header, the labels instead of the fields in detail. You have to be working in the detail to be working on the fields. Apologize for that. There we go, now we've got it laid out correctly. Pretty much that's all we need to do to this particular database, is creating new forms and creating new reports. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, be sure and email me. Have a good day.